I'm Olivia White, and I'm being baptized today. The reason I want to be baptized today is because going into women's retreat, I was terrified of women, first and foremost. I was terrified of judgment. I was terrified of what people saw when they looked at me. I was terrified of my own mind, what I would think, the things I felt, the insecurities I had, my fear that just consumed me. When I got to retreat, we started talking about things that we chase in life, and more times than not, we chase everything but the Lord. As I was watching the videos and reading in my study, I realized that I was everywhere but in the right place. The afternoon that we were packing up and getting ready to go, we were going to do the Lord's Supper, and Janie and Teresa handed us a page that listed where we should be in life and where we should be with the Lord before we take the Lord's Supper. And they explained that it was okay if we didn't take the Lord's Supper because if you're not there, you're just not there. We separated and went and spent our time with God to decide whether we were where we needed to be or not. I went outside out front of the cabin, and I sat in front of a tree and I started reading. I read it and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. And I was sitting by that tree, and my heart, I just didn't feel right. And so I said, okay, well, they're not going to know if I don't take it, I guess. So I'll just go get my stuff ready to go home. I went inside to pack up and make sure I had everything, and I was sitting on my bunk, and the emotions just got to me, and I started crying. At that time, Ann Colander walked in, and I looked at her and I just said, I asked her if we could talk. We went outside and we sat by the water hoses, and we started talking, and she just wanted to know where I was. I was consumed in fear and terrified of everything, and I felt like I wasn't a real Christian. I felt like I was being a hypocrite. The only time I think I felt like I had a connection with God was here on Sunday during worship. We talked for a really long time, and Ann prayed over me, and at the end, she asked me what I thought I needed to do, and my answer to that was rededicate my life. So at that point, I was just like, okay, God, let's do this. Let's start living a different way. I didn't tell anybody at retreat. We got in the car and we just left. When I got home, I talked with my husband Michael about it, and I shared my news with him, and we were both really, really excited. On Sunday, I was supposed to wait until before small groups to talk to Doug, and I couldn't wait. The anxiety was getting to me. And so I pulled him over after church, and I told him what happened, and I told him that I wanted to be rebaptized. I think my baptism today means that I'm new, and that everything I did before that date doesn't matter anymore. That I've been forgiven for everything that haunted me. I don't have to be afraid anymore. I don't have to care what people see when they look at me. I don't have to care what they think. Because as long as I'm doing what God wants me to do, as long as I'm in right with Him, then really nothing else matters. I want to be held accountable for my actions. I want to make sure that I stay on the right path, because as a young Christian, I think it'll be easy to veer. I want to be surrounded by godly women to help me become a better wife, a better mom one day, just a positive person. I don't want to walk with my head facing the floor. I want to walk with my head held high. I want to know that I'm beautiful even when I don't feel it. I think today is a new beginning for me.